in a remodeled Cracker Barrel and he hated it. And I want to join in on the hate. If the Cracker Barrel don't look like the Jim Crow South, I can't eat there. You gotta have the racism aesthetic. You gotta have the rocking chairs and the hint of segregation in the air. If I don't feel like I'm on the set of Sinners, then how do I know I'm in a Cracker Barrel? This is a gentrified Cracker Barrel. They done took all the character out of it, and I know the edges of the pancake ain't burnt. I gotta feel like somebody wants to say, "Good morning, boy," when I go in, with respect. And no respect at all. I feel like they want me to work there, but they don't want to pay me ever. And I've got to live there. That's Cracker Barrel's thing. If you take that away, what is it? A Denny's, IHOP, a place I don't want to be at.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, today we're going to be talking about Cracker Barrel and how a woke female CEO has completely destroyed the company. I mean, when you do this on day one and you destroy the company, and you've been doing this for like a few years, and you destroy it, I think that CEO should be fired. I think that is a sign of you probably should not be a CEO anymore because you're destroying everything. And I have been to Cracker Barrel at least once or twice in my life, mostly because wherever I go, Cracker Barrel is very far away from me. I mean, I have one that's literally 34 minutes away from me, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you can see, like, I'm not going to drive that far for Cracker Barrel, right? I'm just not going to do that. So, yeah. So what we have here is just this, where we have this here from Crossbear saying, modernity is a threat to human well-being and civilization. They want to turn everything into a soulless corporate dystopia where there is no culture outside of the current thing and everywhere looks the same. So obviously this is the old Cracker Barrel logo, which this looks pretty nice. This is pretty nice. And then there's this. See, here's the thing, right? When you make a logo, it's supposed to have an identity. It's supposed to have a soul. It's supposed to have, like, maybe a culture around it. This doesn't show any culture. This is blanket, corporate, stupid, ugly design, no soul, no creativity whatsoever with the logo. This has actually soul. This has creativity. This has, a sign of where it's from. This does not. And then this is what Cracker Barrel used to looks like now, and this is what it used to look like. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not a huge person with decor or whatever. I'm not really a huge fan of this. But this just looks super plain and ugly and just not nice. And as I went to Cracker Barrel, there was at least some hint of identity, whether you were going in, that you're actually going into a country store or what have you. This really looks like you're going to a country store. There's a deer up on there for people that hunted. There's everything looks like it's from a country place. It actually looks a lot more pretty in my opinion, because you have this old rusty barn type of country feel to it. This has an identity. It looks like you're actually from country. And me being a hunter, ex-hunter, I don't hunt anymore, but this is something that I would enjoy going to if I were going to go to a country bar, or a country restaurant at all. And of course, we have this here from Alex Brucewitz, which pretty much says, this is the CEO of Cracker Barrel, is as woke as they come. She's destroying a once great American brand. Yes, because America can't have identity anymore. And of course, what do you know? It's a female, and no surprise there. I'm at this point to where whatever something a female touches, it just obliterates into dust, because I haven't seen something to where a woman touches a brand that has been going on strong, and then it just spontaneously combusts into nothingness. This has been a path or a pattern that I've been seeing consistently now. Now, of course, we had woke CEOs like what that had with the motorcycle company. Yeah, that guy destroyed it too. That's because he was woke. But that's another thing as well. This woman was also woke. Cracker Barrel LGBTQ+ Alliance says supporting home office and field employees to bring their whole selves to work while strengthening Cracker Barrel's relationship to the LGBTQ+ community. And let me tell you this, all right? When you're advertising to a customer base, your customer base is not for this crowd. They're not for this audience. It's just not happening. You're dealing with country folk. The country folk out around there, right? They're not gonna go out and be like, "Oh yeah, LGBTQ+." It's not like they're anti-gay or anything. It's just like these are not people that you're dealing with. People that are in rural communities are way more red-leaning, more conservative than people in actual cities, and that's just the fact. I mean, you're not when we're putting this out here. You're telling these rural communities to go to a liberal place, and that's just not it. It's terrible, and it's like it's awful. And we have this here that this person from Desiree says Cracker Barrel didn't just lose its logo; it lost its soul. Under a CEO more obsessed with DEI quotas than country charm, they've scrubbed the iconic logo, remodeled 70-plus stores into a sterile showroom knockoffs, pledged $700 million to erase every trace of what it feels like home, and according to a civil rights complaint, they're openly discriminating against white employees. This isn't modernization. This extermination of America, Americana, of warmth, of memory. Congratulations, Cracker Barrel. You're now woke barrel. Nobody asked for this. Exactly. Nobody asked for this. Nobody wanted this. Nobody wanted Cracker Barrel to change. It's just like you have to know your audience, and this is just not the audience. It's like in this country, it's like a problem to be pro-America. It's a problem to have pride in your country. It's a problem to want to be in your country and enjoy your country. That's what the problem that is. And it just wants us as this stupid, corporate, soulless, non-culturistic country to where we have no soul, where we have no culture. And that's not something that we want. We need culture. We need something that identifies, that tells us that, like, these are Americans, or, you know, maybe something that goes for country folk, right? And that's just the way it is. And this is not what they're offering here, and it's showing. And unfortunately for Cracker Barrel, things are not going to go so well. But before I show you that, I'm going to show you the actual interview with the CEO of Cracker Barrel and renovating their locations. And of course, as you can tell already, this already has 2.6K dislikes. So you can already probably tell how this is going to go.
And that is an American staple. Cracker Barrel is renovating its locations, but many loyal customers say the change is removing what makes the restaurant such a great dining experience and taking to social media to voice their complaints. Well, join us now exclusively to talk about this is the CEO of Cracker Barrel, Julie Masino. Julie, thank you so much for joining us here on GMA. I want you to tell us about the redesign of Cracker Barrel and some of your response to the criticism.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. And if I can, I want to give a quick shout out to the 70,000 team members who bring the Cracker Barrel brand to life for our guests every single day. So to the remodels. I think what's important is that we are listening to our guests. We're doing this all for them. What they've said is they love the new seating. We're adding in booths, making the chairs more comfortable, putting in new lighting, brightening up the paint color. But what's important is things that people love about Cracker Barrel, the soul of Cracker Barrel is not changing. The rocking chair.
She says that she's listening to her guests, she's listening to her customers, but online does not show this at all. And even me that's been to Cracker Barrel twice in my life, I know exactly on how the aesthetic and how the actual, that when you go into it, that it looks like an actual country bar or a country restaurant. And I don't even like the logo. The logos, bland logos are always boring. You want like an iconic logo, and a Cracker Barrel logo such as that is just terrible. I don't like the logo. I think it's bland. I think it's boring. That's me just going to Cracker Barrel twice in my life and looking at the logo. I'm like, I don't like this. I actually prefer the other logo because it looks a lot more nicer. It has an aesthetic. It's iconic. You understand where you're going when you look at this logo. And the change to both the renovations and the logo is honestly abhorrent. And as I said, I'm a guy that has barely been to Cracker Barrel. So if I look at this in a way that's negative, imagine what the original audience thinks it is.
Chairs are still there, the fireplace is there, the peg game, all the things that make Cracker Barrel, the vintage decor, it's still there and it's working. The results affirm that we're headed in the right direction.
And this is part of a multi-year transformation of the chain. What else can can the customers expect to change?
Yeah, well, remember, the heart and soul of Cracker Barrel is going to stay the same. And so today we're actually launching a new campaign called All the More, which really highlights how people feel about Cracker Barrel. It's bigger than just a meal. We've got a retail shop. You're going to get great country hospitality with our scratch-made food in our restaurants. And that's really what this campaign celebrates. So we've enlisted a little bit of help from a guy named Jordan Davis. Maybe you've heard of him. He's got a new single and album out, and he's in our ad and is the voice of it as well. And it really, again, just highlights those things that make Cracker Barrel Cracker Barrel.
Is the food changing?
The food, well, here's what I'll say about that. Innovation has proven to be really great at Cracker Barrel. People are loving our new menu items. We're reinvigorating our dinner menu. We've got a new herb roasted chicken that is so delicious that launches today. It's like the chicken you would make, Michael, if you were at home making a chicken. Juicy, crisp skin, a nice little sauce that comes with it. But we're also doing some things that our guests love, like bringing back Uncle Herschel's favorite. It's back today in all of our restaurants. So the things that you love at Cracker Barrel are still going to be there.
And a lot of restaurants are leaning and going back to nostalgia, things that the customers are really comfortable with.
We never left it.
Yeah, you never left it, but you're changing up. You're kind of going a different direction. Why is that your strategy?
Now, before he responds, she says, we're never changing it. Well, you're changing the entire look of Cracker Barrel in itself. You're removing something that was once iconic and a nice logo and do a very bland and boring logo. You're changing the decor to where it doesn't look country at all to something that's something that looked very beautiful and in country to something that didn't look country at all. Like, that's the problem. And you are changing it. You're just flat out lying here. And this guy, as being as middle as he can, is just calling her out. It's like, well, you're changing it. How is it the same?
Yeah, because the Cracker Barrel needs to feel like the Cracker Barrel for today and for tomorrow. And again, the things that you love are still there. We need people to choose us, and we want people to choose us because people love this brand. They've loved it. Everybody's got a story, right? Did you go to Cracker Barrel on the way to your grandma's when you were traveling soccer or whatever those things are? Our job is to make Cracker Barrel a place that they want to be today and tomorrow.
You said everybody has their story, and I can see Robin right there. She's shaking her head like, yeah, I have mine with
Robin
grandma,
just told
my
me her
parents.
story. She's a big Cracker Barrel fan, and we're grateful for it. So.
But it's more than a restaurant, though. You sell furniture, you sell apparel, you sell food, of course. You even sell bedding.
Yeah.
But how have tariffs affected the prices, and have you felt the effect of the prices?
Yeah, look, we think about the business really in kind of two ways. So the restaurant side, all of those goods, for the most part, are sourced here domestically. That's our food and everything that we're preparing in the restaurant side. The retail side, we get a lot of those goods from all over the world. So we have been really looking at the tariff side there. We're doing everything we can to mitigate the impact because Cracker Barrel's, we are an abundant value. When you think about what happens in the restaurant side, our average check is about $15 versus the industry's at $27. So it's an amazing value, great scratch cooked food, abundant portions. A lot of people take leftovers home with them. Our job is to maintain that great value and the great delicious food and the country hospitality we're known for. And we're working hard on that.
All right, I got to ask this question. I think I probably know the answer. What if all the customers are coming at you hard enough about the look of the restaurant and they want to go back to the old way? Would you do it?
Honestly, the feedback's been overwhelmingly positive that people like what we're doing. I'll give you another soundbite. I actually happened to be in Orlando last week with all of our managers. We bring them together and every other year. And the number one question that I got asked, Michael, was, how can I get a remodel? When can I get a remodel? How do I get on the list?
Oh, really?
So because the feedback and the buzz is so good, not only from our customers, but from our team members. They want to work in a wonderful restaurant. So we're doing everything for our guests and our team members.
Well, Julie Messino, it's wonderful to have you.
Okay, so that's it. So remember that she just said that that everybody's positive about it. Everybody loves it. We've been wanting a remodel and stuff like that. Well, I'm a bit late on doing this, and even still, the stocks are not good. The stocks are down. So whatever she's been saying about Cracker Barrel being good or people wanting this is just not true. It's actually a false reality here. So I don't know where she's coming from, where everybody wanted this and Cracker Barrel is doing amazing, when it doesn't look like it's doing amazing at all. In fact, if we're looking at this here, it looks like it's doing terrible. So at the end of the day, I just don't think that this is just going to be in. This is the second day in, so as I said before, there's just no winning this. I think that she made a horrible mistake, We'll see what happens in the coming days, coming weeks. But at the moment right now, Wendy's is up, and she's losing out to Wendy's. All right, she's losing out to Wendy's. So if you lose out to Wendy's, you're probably doing something bad. You're probably taking a huge L, and you might have to rethink some things. So we'll see how long this lasts. All right, guys, that's it for video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.